Hey Ray, just going through your site real quick. I like the look of it, but as you said, you wanted to make it responsive, meaning it would fit well on any screen size. For instance, this would be screen size for an iPhone or an Android. This would be around the iPad mini size. This would be around the regular iPad, and of course you have your desktop right here. So it's a pretty simple fix. What would be happening is I would be adding media queries on your CSS. So when you have a smaller screen size, it responds to that screen size. Meaning if it's about this big, ideally you would have this centered up. These div boxes, these little white rectangles, would be full width, and this whole sidebar of your featured people would be below all these boxes, and of course they would be about 100% width. So screen sizes around this size would be pretty uniform to the design. And then of course underneath all this sidebar area you would have your logos like you do, but perhaps they would be in two different rows instead of one big row, so you can still have decent sized logos, but people can still see them all in one screen. And below that you'd have your footer links. Instead of, just like the logos, instead of side by side, they would be probably on top of each other, going down in a single column or two columns. And your menu, most importantly, would be probably, we could move this entire thing into the top left and then have a hamburger menu like this thing right here. But actually, yeah, Chrome is a good example. It wouldn't pop out like this. It would kind of pop out inside your website, and it would kind of expand with all these menu links, and then you would press it again, it would close. Right now I like how it's using a bit of a skeuomorphic style, your whole website. If you're looking at redoing your desktop look like you mentioned right here, I would definitely upgrade the whole look and feel of the site. Make it a little more, I don't want to say flat design style completely, but I do like the aesthetics of having simple things. Like I would get rid of this texture, maybe have a texture on the footer area right here, but definitely not throughout the whole site, because it kind of looks like a corkboard, which I get why you're using it, because in the real world you use bulletin boards and you use a thumbtack and put job listings or gigs up there, and I get that aesthetic. It's kind of cool. But yeah, you definitely want to upgrade to a more modern approach and make, for example, these menu icons, instead of having these little tab things like you would see in a Rolodex, again, nice use of symbolism, I would make them like actual full buttons. That of course would keep the whole color scheme you have right here. And I would definitely have this thing going on where if for instance you click on job, the jobs button link becomes the same one as the whole page. And I would kind of use that in the new design as well, but just make it a little bit modern. And I would perhaps make these buttons have a little bit more margins in between and add a little bit more white space. And instead of, since no one has these small monitor sizes anymore, we can go even this big. And instead of having 3 columns, we could perhaps have 5 to 6. And yeah, just update that type of look and feel. Yeah, we would definitely add some more margins in here as well. Make these buttons less skeuomorphic and more flat design, but keep that. I love the call to actions right here. These are the 2 more prominent ones. I would actually change this from red to something else and make these buttons red, because this is where you want to click. And yeah, so far so good, and that's my idea for you guys. Hope to hear back from you. Thanks.